Right, there we go, live. All right. All praises. All praises to the Most High, our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All praises to our Comforter, Wisdom, our Mother. All praises to our brother, Yahweh Shai. Big up to our family, our nation, those standing in great boldness in this time of Esau's trouble. All praises. And just real quick, um, all praises to everyone who is uh, standing in boldness, who is doing the right things, who is seeking out the Father, who is treating their brother and their sister the way they want to be treated. All praises for that. All praises to them. May protection be with them. May peace, shalom, good tidings, and joy be with them. All praises. So tonight, I was trying to do my normal, but that rotten blog talk wasn't acting right. And Brother Sly and I, who is here with me tonight, have some things to say. And it was not trying to do the right thing for us to do what we needed to do. So this is how we're going to do it tonight. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right. All praises, Brother Sly. All praises.
All praises, man. It's great, man, to build with you once
Yes,
again,
sir.
man, in the public forum, because we're always chopping up behind the scenes through the spirit, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a great thing to do, to be, part of this whole awakening. And as these people, as Esau, as the Edomites, as the Vassals, the Blasters, the Gassels, all are trying to figure out how we standing in boldness, they all are getting beat down at this moment. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It is a very, very beautiful thing to see. But hey, we are the trouble for 83, right? In that we are the trouble for 83. This is their problem right now. And they can't see it. They can't see. So let's start real quick. I'm gonna start with, and real quick, just so everyone understands what we're trying to do. We're gonna show tonight, by way of the Spirit and the Father, trouble, because these people want to sit around and act like trouble is, ain't nobody going through trouble, and Jacob's trouble is coming in the future. And no, it's not. It's Esau's turn. This isn't even a puzzle. It's not even a puzzle. So I'm gonna start with second Esdras, and then you're gonna come in and you're gonna bring it in. All right, brother.
Gotcha.
All right. So this is second Esdras 15, 3 through 6. And what we're going to show here is trouble, and whose trouble it is. So this is how it begins. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So there's a few things in this. First off, let's talk about who he's talking to. Who is he talking to, brother?
Okay, by looking at it, he is talking to us, telling us not to fear the imaginations and the vain opinions of the other nations. And that's what we're seeing. All of the confederacy, everybody has been coming at us. It's the Edomites. It's the Hamites. We've had the Malaysians come at us just last week. We had the Eskimos come at us. Yes, I'm still saying Eskimo.
So my.
We had the Eskimos come at us. They're all coming in waves. They're
Yep.
coming just out the woodworks. It's like everybody is coming down and trying to attack us whenever we speak out and destroy their paradigm. It's like
Mhm.
clockwork. It's to the point where you and I, when we talk in the background, the Holy Spirit is telling us, well, who's coming next?
Yep.
Well, better get ready for these Edomites. They're coming next week. Boom, what happened on social media? They came.
Yep.
Then you said, you know what? I think Amalek and Esau, they're next. What happened after that? We kept getting flooded with
Flooded.
Amalek video. I mean, flooded. I'm looking at my phone like, man, the Holy Spirit told us this was coming.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough. Sure enough. And in doing so, as we see these things, as we are looking at these things occur, we are ahead. Now, watch this. We are ahead of them, while they are behind or the tail. And they want to act like when they come to us or come against us, that they somehow have some sort of intelligence of word, of verb, of saying to us, you guys haven't heard what we're saying. And we're going, yeah, we have. We know exactly what you're saying because we're ahead. We are the head. We are ahead of you. And every time that they stop, and it's funny because tonight we were going back and forth, and that clown was trying to come at us, come at the sisters, come at us, and what did he do? All of a sudden he was like, oh, but wait, we can be friends. No, there's no friends. You can't come at us any kind of way and then expect us to say, well, you know what? We can be friends, because your spirit, your continence has already cut you. And that goes the same with the camps, because the camps want to sit here and act like, for whatever reason, that they that this whole thing is about them. And it's not. This whole thing is about the remnant within the remnant. That's why it's very difficult for the nations and their vassals to accept us, because everyone is seeing us through the eyes of the camps. And the camps got problems with that, or we got problems with that. The camps don't even seem to have problems with that, which tells you, and what I always say, brother, I always say, every situation that we come against and that comes against us and we go against, it symbolizes Solomon's the two women. That's how we know who's who, right? Because if there's somebody that comes at us and they go, well, you know what, maybe you're right, or this is what I'm thinking, or this is how I see it, with respect to what we're saying, well, then okay, you could be the woman whose child it is, right? You could be the child of the woman. But then those that come against us and say, nah, cut the child in half, we don't care, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, we already know through their continence, through their esoteric spirit, who they are. And like tonight, this dude's trying to tell us that we're Esau. Like, how? You're Esau. How? I mean, it went from Ham to Esau. Now, the confusion and the conundrum and the madness is strong with these people.
Exactly.
like strong, it's
Bruh,
crazy.
I didn't tell you this. Let me get it right. This guy said I was an Ishmaelite. I never told you about that. So with Ishmael too, my brother. I never told you about that one. Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. He was gone in his mind, bro. He was totally gone. He said, "Well, you're Ishmael, and and basically he was speaking like he was the Elohim." And
What?
I meant to tell you, man. It honestly, man, it was so far out there. I just put it in the back of my mind because he was saying utter madness. But he stood on it. He stood on what he was saying. Oh, you're an Ishmaelite and this and that and so and you know, I'm gonna return back to the ether and you're still gonna. He was gone, bro.
Of course.
But this is what we deal with on a
Yeah.
daily basis. This is the holy war that we're in.
Mhm.
An accuser
Yeah.
of the brethren, those that
Yeah.
come against the saints, male and
Exactly. Exactly. The accusers, the adversary, the one that boasts against us, that scoffs, that mocks, that bears false witness against us. All these people don't even know who we are, and all they want to do is ask us, well, prove who you are. Well, we don't need to prove. Matter of fact, all we normally say is, hey, the history proves who we are. They want it to be proven through scripture. Well, the history of the biblical history proves who we are in conjunction with the history. So, you know, they are a scattered people, right? So before we get into 83, I want to read, I think I'm going to go ahead. What is this? I did second address, right? So let's see which one. We'll see how long, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I'm going to read this real quick because this is out of the NAG. Okay, this is the paraphrase of Shem. The paraphrase of Shem. You know, these are things they don't want us to talk about, but we're going to talk about it because this is the trouble. Because see, what we're talking about tonight is the trouble. Who's in trouble? Is it Jacob or is it Esau? Now, before I even say that, I'm gonna make this joke because we were giggling about this before. Not giggling, we were laughing heartily about this before. So pre-2019, all of these people, vassals, blassels, gassels alike, with Esau, was running around with their ticket in hand, waving it in our face, talking about we getting out of here, we getting out of here, we getting raptured. You niggas ain't getting nothing. We got this ticket. See this ticket? And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, 2020 came and that plane didn't show up. That spacecraft didn't show up. And that ticket, they were like, nah. You know what? We ain't getting off here. So you know what? We Jacob now. we Jacob. We Jacob. We the 12 tribes. You know, we the Indians. You know, we everybody now. We the Egyptians. We Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And it's like, well, wait a second. How are you everything, right? Because then it goes back to what we're talking about. Who's in trouble? Who if the rulers of the Edomite rulers and their vassals are Jacob, then who's in trouble at the end? Who are the people that the books are talking about there will be a trouble against? See, this is what the ridiculous, retarded camps want to speak about. They want to say that we're in trouble again. And it's like, well, why would that even be? What logic is it that the people who have been the tail, been the bottom, would then be in trouble again? What have they done to warrant to be? I mean, does it make sense, as you always say, for the Father to awaken us just to beat us down again? Does that even make sense? There's no logic in that, right? So I digress. I don't want to get all caught up in that. But this is again, it's the paraphrase of Shem. I'm going to start at 35 and we're going to start at 35, 29, 30, 29. Oh no, 35. These are a little different the way it's set up. All right. So let's talk about Shem. So when he will have appeared, O Shem, upon the earth, in the place which will be called Sodom, then safeguard the insight which I shall give you. For those whose heart was pure will congregate to you, because of the word which you will reveal. For when you appear in the world, dark nature will shake against you, together with the winds and a demon, that they may destroy the insight, but you proclaim quickly to the Sodomites your universal teachings. I don't know about that. For they are your members. For the demon of human form will part from that place by my will, since he is ignorant. He will guard this utterance. But the Sodomites, according to the will of the majesty, will bear witness to the universal testimony. They will rest with a pure conscience in the place of their repose, which is the unbegotten spirit. And as these things will happen, Sodom will be burned unjustly by a base nature. For the evil will not cease in order that your majesty may reveal that place. Then the demon will depart with faith, and then he will appear in the four regions of the world. And when faith appears in the last likeness, then will her appearance become manifest. For the firstborn is the demon who appeared in the union of nature, with many faces, in order that the faith might appear in him. For when he appears in the world, evil passions will arise, and earthquakes, and wars, and famines, and blasphemies. For because of him, the whole world will be disturbed. For he will seek the power, and faith, and light. He will not find it. For at that time, the demon will also appear upon the river to baptize with an imperfect baptism, and to trouble the world with a bondage of water. But it is necessary for me to appear in the members of the thought of faith, to reveal the great things of my power. I shall separate it from the demon who is Sardis, and the light which he possesses from the spirit I shall mix. I shall mix with my invincible garment, as well as him whom I shall reveal in the darkness for your sake, and for the sake of your race, which will be protected from the evil darkness. And again, that's the paraphrase of Shem, not Sim, Ham, or Japhet. Shem. So, again, trouble. Who's in trouble? This demon. Who's the demon? The one who has troubled the waters. Who's troubled the waters? Who's troubled the air? Who's troubled the land? Who's troubled the people? Well, it wasn't us, right?
It sure wasn't. It sure wasn't us.
So,
Yeah, we know
these folks think that they slick, bro. They think that they so slick in their ignorance that they are so blind. Their fullness has come in, their blindness has come in. It's not in part. It is a complete dismantling of the mentality, of the mental fortitude, of the mental fitness that we now have. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Exactly. And when they come and we ask questions. If we're wrong, you should want to save our souls from eternal damnation. So we have questions. They cannot answer basic biblical questions. When they speak incorrectly, we can see the precepts just pop up in our head. No, the scripture says that. No, this verse says that. These people have been running around for millennia with our manuscripts, acting as if they really understood the word. And that was easy to do when we were asleep.
Very easy.
If I'm ignorant, of course, a hobo is going to sound intelligent to me. But once I get in those books, I pray for the Holy Spirit. I repent and we come back to those things. The Holy Spirit will start to open up your mind and reveal things to you. And during this revelation period, we're like, man, we were really under these people? These are the people that had us in derision? This is the man that, who made the earth tremble, the basis of man? How did they get over us? Because prime example, earlier this evening. That guy, oh, I know Hebrew, I know Greek, I know every language under the sun. I know Klingon, but couldn't answer a basic biblical question. Everything he was saying was the total opposite of what's in the 66. We're not even going to talk about the 80. He couldn't even answer questions that was in the basic 66. He's such a biblical scholar, and he's teaching. The veil is so heavy on 83. It's insane. They can't see anything.
Nothing.
And how can you not see what's plainly written on tables? I'm like, bruh, it's right there in the same book you're professing to believe in, because they don't really read it. And when they do read it, the Most High has them so blinded, they can't see it. Remember what the old folks would say? You're looking for something. If it was a snake, it would have bit you. It's sitting right next to you, but you've been looking for it for an hour, but you can't see it. That's the consternation that these heathens are under right now.
Exactly. So real quick, 1968 is 1968 is back. So 1968 is asking about Abraham, Ham, and go with Shem. Listen, if you're not able to reconcile the sons and who the people are through the sons, through the sons of Noah, well, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, we're not here talking about Ham, the Hamitic people. We're talking about the Shemitic people. Abraham is from Shem, not Ham. This isn't hard, Mr. 1968 or Mrs. 1968. But I digress. But show us, brother, through 83. I mean, yeah, show us through 83 who's in trouble.
Now, my brother, we always talk about Psalms 83. I know we've read it several times, but something told me this evening to read it again. So I was reading it, but I want to have us focus on, where is it at? 13, 14, 15, 15 through 17. So this is Psalms 83, verses 15, 16, and 17. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill thy faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. Now, when I go back up to Psalms 83, of course, we know this. It gives an itemized list of the confederacy. Edom, Ishmael, Moab, the Hagarenes. I think this is Gebel. You can correct me if I said it incorrectly.
Gebal.
Gebal. Thank you. Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. Now, these are all of the people who are actively coming against us. Because I'm correct, verse 2, this is when it says, they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And that's what they've done. Ever since, I would say, probably 2019, 2020, when we've really been pushing this truth forward, they've been coming in waves. We have the so-called natives coming for us. Oh, you're wabos, you're pretendians, you're all African slaves. It's like, no, history says otherwise.
That's right.
History says that we were already here and you're the ones that were shipped over, but we're not going to go into that. And once again, we see all these people coming up against us, and they all have something negative to say. Now, I tell people to pay attention because they all have the same racist talking points.
Yep.
Whenever you ask them a question and they don't like it, oh, you have hatred. You're racist. You're this. And you're that. It's to the point where I tell them, please get some new tropes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Make this challenging. Y'all come with
Exactly.
the same rhetoric. And since they're all speaking the same thing, that is proof of the crafty council.
Correct.
Because they're all in agreement with what they say to us and how they come towards us. Oh, that was in the past. Just forget that. Oh, well, everybody was slaves. I mean, black people. So black people, you will hear that from a white person. You will hear that from a so-called black person.
Mhm.
You will hear that from a so-called Asian person.
Yep.
They all speak the same rhetoric.
Mhm.
That's the crafty counsel of Psalms 83.
Yep.
They're all in one accord,
Mhm.
one consent.
Yep. And somehow that this crafty counsel is going to come in the future, to where it's going to create commotion or confound the Israeli. Like, again, these things don't make sense. The trouble that is troubling the world is Jacob's trouble. That is, like, Jacob's not going back through it unless Jacob chooses to. So it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You can, if you want to go through Jacob's trouble, surely you can go through Jacob's trouble again. The Most High ain't gonna worry about that. If you want to manifest Jacob's trouble upon you, so be it. If you don't, so be it. At this stage, we realize, oh man, we've gone through some trouble already. I mean, I don't know about the rest of these vassals and blassels and Edomites, but I know what I've already gone through. And I'm telling you this right now, I'm not trying to go back through it. Today is the best time of my life in terms of mind, body, and spirit. Why would I want to go back through that to get to this point again? That's crazy. That's
Exactly.
crazy to me. And
Exactly. Yeah.
when Esau wants to act as if they have all the knowledge, but don't even know who the Israelites are. Oh, well, shoot, we can go to the moon. Oh, well, we know we can go to the depths of the sea. We know the weight of the sun. We know how to catch the wind. All this, but you don't know who the people are. Well, it shows because they don't have the wherewithal to recognize the prophecies, nor the signs. That's why they all scoffed at every eclipse. That's why they scoff at all of the zodiac, the astrology, the astronomy. That's why all they dealing with right now is white Jesus and Christian insanity, and some of them are leaving that to come to just colonizing our awakening, right? Isn't that what the phrase you said? They colonizing our awakening, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now all of a sudden the Edomites are Torah keepers. I'm like, when did that happen?
Right. With
Yeah,
Torah.
yeah. And we're not talking about Amalek. We already knew that they were faking, but we
Yep.
talking about your everyday, run of the mill, average Edomite. Now then, all of a sudden it's Yeshua, Yahuwah, and they're all Torah keepers. Like you
Yeah.
said, they didn't get the Willy Wonka rapture ticket.
Right. The golden ticket eluded them.
Exactly. Well, since we didn't get raptured, uh, we see these Negroes claim to be Israel. That's what we can do. We can colonize their awakening.
Right. We can take it over because we can say that they're going to be going through trouble because we've got these camps under our thumbs, and they can say it for us, and then we can create everybody the whole awakening. We can create another narrative. Like, all the narratives that they talk about is not our problem. That's the whole deal. Like, they got problems. They're trying to project their problems onto us, and we're saying, nope, We don't want your problems. Your problems are your problems. We had our problems and we still got our problems, and we're sorting out our problems. And our problems is not your problems. Your problem is that you do not repent, you do not take account, you do not acknowledge, nor do you want to accept what is to come. And that's where we are right now. We accepted everything that has come our way. Why? Because we said, okay, our forefathers created this madness. We ain't really have nothing to do with it, but we had to go through it. Okay, fine. Now that we've gone through it, we're saying all praises. Father, thank you. We will now listen to you, hear you, abide by you, and be under you with no questions asked. But yet, here comes these Edomites talking about, nah, you ain't got to worry about that. It's about spiritual. This is a spiritual thing. Like that Edomite today. What did he say? You realize a Hebrew is not a race. Hebrew is a spirituality. It's a culture. And that leads me to this. Of course, it's a culture. That's what we were saying last week in terms of the metaphysical and the supernatural. Our understanding of our culture from the youngest to the oldest was sight unseen. Our spirituality was that we understood that the spirits were close to us. They walked around us. And when that changed because of our forefathers' madness, mental illness, they left and left us naked and dry and alone, so that the Edomites can come in and take us over and colonize us. And now they're trying to do the same thing, but what their problem is that this time it's different. Why? Because our time, our penance has been served. So this trouble, back to Jacob's trouble. Everybody, oh, Jacob's trouble in the future, in the trouble. Well, we already know that there's crafty counsel. We already know that they've done everything they could do to us. So to be in fear of Jacob's trouble, what the hell? What are they going to do? They're going to recolonize us? What the hell are they going to do? They're going to re-lynch us? So everybody got guns but us? No, that's not going on. That's not happening anymore. There is by no stretch of the imagination, none, not near one stretch, that they or anybody can come against us with their rusty sword. We are an emboldened, strong bunch, and we don't even have to use our fists. God, if we have to go physical with people, then it's crazy. We're just cutting these people up with our words. We ain't gotta be physical no more. We don't even have to do that. That's why that's how you know who's who and what is what. That's what this is all about. It's all about us waking up to be able to have our heritage, our culture back. That's what this is about. And they're mad. They're trying to change it. And it's not going to happen.
Exactly. They see the saints standing once again in great boldness. And there's really nothing that they can do, because we always emphasize, you're not going against us. We're just vessels. We're vessels. You're the vessels, but we're the vessels. This is of the Most High. I didn't ask to be sitting here right now. I didn't ask to be put in this predicament.
Exactly.
He chose his people for a certain time to wake up and stand in his name against his enemies, who are also our enemies. We emphasize all the time, if you're supposed to be God-loving Christians, this has nothing to do with us. You're going against our Elohim, the Alpha and the Omega. And I told one Gentile, I said, that's not one fight that you really want to, you really don't want to have that fight. because you
No.
can't win. But they are doubling down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're in a cult. Well, you Paulites, they said he was in a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should be in a cult. We have a culture.
That's right.
And like I said,
That's
they
right.
use the same derogatory terms. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're in a cult. Oh, you're a black Hebrew Israelite, or
Mm-hmm. You
salvation.
ham.
You,
Ham.
like, bro,
It's so ridiculous.
hey,
And the joke of that, and this is why it's a joke, because the Hamites don't even acknowledge us. I was telling my dad the other day. I said, listen, and I was telling this guy today the same thing at work while we were eating lunch. I said, the that slave trade never could have happened. One, the Gulf Stream is going the wrong way. The tides are going the wrong way. The ocean of the Atlantic is too strong. The only thing that they could do is reclassify us that were already here. These Africans, when they come, and listen, I ain't mad at them. I'm not even tripping. I don't care. The only thing that I care about is myself, my family, my brothers, my sisters, and getting to the kingdom to come with the righteous family. That's really all I really care about at this stage in the game. I'm not concerning myself with everybody else. However, I'm not going to allow these foolish nations to go against our Elohim nor our nation ignorantly. Like that's not going to go down. Not when I know about it. Like if I know about it, like if it's a comment or something, I'm not going to let that happen. But I was explaining to him, I said, listen, the Africans don't even acknowledge who we are. They come over here off of our backs, off of our coattails, and tell us that we lazy, that we don't know what we're talking about, that we need to just get past all this other stuff. And see, that's their whole game. That's the game of 83. 83 wants us to get past it. But yet, they can't even get past this. If that's the case, get past that dude who just shot up that CEO. Get past that shit was in the past. That don't even matter. It's just one guy. It don't matter. So, like get past that. Oh, get past the fact that Joe's son's a crackhead. Get past all that. You know, get past all of the Israel, the Ish people's murdering of everybody. Get past all that. You see? So if they won't ever get past it and they love talking about it, well, then why should we get past what we feel like? Like, who are these people to tell us who we are? No camp, just because they run around with their Ultraman suits on, their Johnny Sacco suits, trying to act like they know everything. Who are they to tell me what I know? And I ain't even mad at them brothers because they got a purpose as well. They got a mission as well. But what the hell do they got to do with me? They don't. And that's the whole thing. Everybody wants us to be in a trick bag, in one little bag. Oh, all you niggas is over here. That's where you need to stay. Don't worry about this over there. That's for us. No, that's not how this works. The way this works is each individual has an opportunity to understand his or her own salvation. So if you're trying to tell me about my salvation, I'm gonna have to tell you to kick rocks. If you want to tell me about my history, I'm gonna have to tell you to kick rocks, unless, of course, your history lines up with mine. See, that's the key right now. All of us whose intellect and understanding, overstanding, understanding lines up with each other, that's how we know who we are. That's how that's where the strength comes. But these other people who come against that, they're vampires. They want to take our energy. They want to change things up. Now, instead of them coming in and asking questions, well, you know what? Why would you guys say that? Why are you saying they don't want to do that? Because then that would open up them not having any understanding. And that's where that's where all this is going, them not having any understanding.
they
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
don't have the understanding. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. We can tell who our people are in the spirit. because our conversations always align. We can start talking to them, and when we speak, everything just appears to be in sync. They're not
Yes.
kicking against the pricks. Well, why is this? And and this and that. And well, I was told this, and we're in agreement. We come together in agreement. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what they don't want.
No.
They want us out there, trying to sell drugs, trying to do this. They don't want us trying to move righteously. Now, no one's perfect. We're not professing that. But they see that we're striving and making an effort and repenting and working toward the kingdom. And they know that when we work toward the kingdom, it's their demise. So that's why they have to throw that witchcraft at us. Oh, you're a ham. Oh, you're black. Oh, you're so-and-so. Oh, no, all nations can be saved. They have to constantly repeat that witchcraft in an effort to take our energy from us.
Yep.
That's why I love to tell them that doesn't work on me.
Nope.
I say it boldly. Those tricks that you're doing, it doesn't work on me. And it doesn't work on my brothers and sisters because we know better.
Nope. And I want to say this real quick. Ham, Shem, and Japheth are brothers from Noah. Abraham, for this, because I'm looking at some of the comments too. 1968 is his history or her history understanding is off. Shem is before Abraham, period. So I don't even know what he's talking about. Now, and I also want to say this. We are all over this earth. So, of course, there will be some Israelites, Hebrews, who may look like Ham on the continent of Africa, so-called Africa.
Exactly.
Same as Asia, same as Europe, same as the Isles, same as South, Central, and North America, same as Canada. Listen, we're not going against people who are like-minded within the spirit. All right. What we're saying is when people utilize derogatory tonality against us as if to call us out of our name, that would be like somebody named John and a guy named John is at somewhere and these people are calling him Mike. Well, why would he? That's disrespect. And they're not doing it funny. There's no Joan in here. There's no, there's no fun in. They don't know each other, but they just want to call him out his name. That's what we're saying about these other nations. No one is saying, hey, we know that there's plenty of us all over the earth. We know that there is a northern and southern kingdom. Everybody that goes against that only wants to deal with the southern kingdom. Why is that? Because of course the southern kingdom is Judah, right? So Judah is the nobility. So what? Everybody want to be noble. Nobody want to be the 10 tribes. But when we talk about the 10 tribes, especially for the nations, they want to say, oh, that's in Africa. And all we're saying is no. The 10 tribes went to a land no man dwelt. People dwelt in Africa. Yes, there's plenty of places where people could go and get lost in Africa, but this is a continent where no man, very clear, man dwelt. That means there was no habitation of men prior to the 10 tribes getting there. So if that being the case, we're saying here on the Americas, because somehow these Caucasians found this place, right? Found our land. And then they said, well, this is our land. This is what we do. This is now ours. But wait, what about us? Oh, you guys are all from Africa. You see the problem? There's a problem with that. There's a major problem with that. And then that, like to do today, oh, well, I'm from Tarshish. Nigga, you don't even know what Tarshish is. Where are you from? What are you talking about? That's Tarshish is the islands. Ophir, we've already done this. We've gone down this route. We understand what the history shows and as it applies to scriptures, not just the stolen 66 or stolen 80. We're talking about all of them. All of it is ours. And that's what that's why they all get upset. They get upset because they want to be like, oh, well, you guys want to be everything. Well, we were the head. We were the head. So, these guys, it's like the Edomites being the head and losing their kingship. Like one of their kings of France, whatever, lost his kingship and another one comes in, right? The one that lost his kingship just went to the back. He went to the tail. There's nothing new here. But the whole house of Israel this time is about to be back ruling. Now, what does ruling mean? It means bringing the standard. What is the standard? Righteousness to the world. Why? Because the world has been given into the hand of the wicked. Are we not tired yet? That's why they're going into trouble, because they won't acknowledge their own troubles. They still think that they have some righteous standard of morality. When their men is getting their jangs cut off, the women are trying to get it sewed up, everybody's all combobulated. Everybody's got some mental illness or even a mental diseasement. We just had COVID 2024, right? 2020. Everybody got poisoned up, and they want us to believe today, who didn't get poisoned up, that our mind is clouded. Are you crazy? My mind is clear, very, very clear. I, like the rest of our brothers and sisters who did not take the jabby jab, the jabba jaws, as Brother Levi says, who did not take it, our minds are clear. We're not stressing. We have peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not even hard anymore. I mean, golly, it's not even difficult. It's not. It's just not. And all they want to do is try to make us seem like we're crazy so that they can feel good about their discomfort. And listen, that's what I was talking about last week. This is a mental illness situation. This mental illness is one that does not allow for shalom. What have we been asking for? Peace and justice. But you can't have justice without peace, or rather, we can't have peace without justice. So if we're looking for justice and peace, and God knows what the Father knows what they're looking for. I don't know what they're looking for, but they just are trying to be contrary. Who's going to win out? What we're manifesting what we want. This is the age of Aquarius, to manifest with all the knowledge and wisdom that's here. You get to manifest what you want. What do we want? Justice and peace. So what do they want? They want to be us. So if that's what they want, and they want to be us, then they also have to go through what we've gone through. That's the trouble. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. I didn't know that I could actually interact with our brothers and sisters while we were doing the live stream.
Yeah. And this is interesting. I've not done this, and again, family, this is my first time on StreamYard. Well, I was on StreamYard on Judas, but this is my first time on this, so this is interesting. Because Blog Talk is acting up, and it's going to go away the first of the year, so I got to find another platform. So this might be it, and then that way, now maybe I can bring some a little bit more receipts, and brother Sly and I can really chop it up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
This would be great, bro. This would be great. But yeah, so the trouble that they are in. Oh, what was the other one? The Gospel of Thomas, right? So Yahushua said, this is the Gospel of Thomas. Yahushua said, let him who seeks continue seeking until he finds. When he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished, and he will rule over the all. So, who's troubled here? And why is it troubled and astonished? And why would those two rule? What's your take on that, brother?
Well, we know who the trouble is for.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in trouble, definitely you would be astonished, because we've been through our astonishment already.
That's right.
We went through our lowly point. We've been through our trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to for us to go to sleep, we're punished, we wake up, repent, do our best to get right, while the other nations are getting judged. So we're going to get judged with them. The astonishment and the trouble, that's all on them. We just need to be at peace. We really need to be at peace, because everything going forward is on 83. All the pain and the turmoil and the storms and the conflagrations and the misgivings, we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what's going on in North Carolina right now. They're in the mountains in freezing weather. That's trouble. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're really not going through Jacob's trouble. Now, what they did to us, it's going to be trouble because of what they did to Jacob, but Jacob won't be in a physical trouble. And we don't see it. We don't really see it in scriptures. And the scriptures that they pull out, well, it's a time like never before. And when we ask, we always go to the history. Well, what's going to be worse than lynchings, buck breakings,
Right.
raping our women, raping our children, castration, starvation? I mean, what can they do to us that they haven't already done? And we never get a solid response. Which means we've already seen everything that they can do to us. They can't do anything else to us.
Nope. And that right there is the crux of their trouble, because there's nothing else that they could do to us or can say to us to put us in fear of them. They've done it all. Now it's us going, you guys are not even in the game. Now watch this. To your point. So if we read this, because again, this is all transliterated and translated by Esau or the Edomites, right? So Yahushua said, let him who seeks continue seeking until he finds. All right, that's perfectly great. Then he says, when he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astonished, and he will rule over the all. So, and Israel will rule over the all. Now, why am I saying that, right? Because the next is, that's 2. Now 3 says, Yahushua said, if those who lead you say to you, see, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, he's saying this plural, then you will become known, and you will realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father. But if you will not know yourselves, you will dwell in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty. So the he up here is all those that are troubled and astonished, right? And then that's a precept, right? Who's troubled and astonished? That's what we're talking about tonight. Who is in Jacob's trouble at the end when we realize, he says, and you will realize that it is you who are the sons of the living Father. So who is that? And then who is that in relation to the troubled? So the nations are troubled. They are astonished at our salvation because we realize that it is us who are the sons and daughters of the living Father. Everybody else is in poverty. They're impoverished. Why? Because of the word. The word is something that they've never heard us say. And as we say these things to them, even at work, just saying things to say them, it is of great respect that we get right now. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's like you and I'll be in the morning, like when we talking on the phone, I'm on the train just talking, and people are all quiet, just listening. I got the Elams, I got the Endos, I got Ish, I got Esau, I got Ham and Jake all around me, and you and I are chopping it up early in the morning, and nobody's saying nothing. Why is that? Because the words that I'm using, the words that we're saying, command respect. That's why, people are always concerning themselves with I don't know. It looks like the live stream, the chat ended or something. I don't know. I don't see it anymore. But anyway, are you still there with me?
I'm here with you.
Okay. So, the word that we're using is cutting them up so bad that they really don't have anything to say. That's why they keep bringing out these people who appear to be in the truth, right? But they don't even have an understanding of it and get cut down. And all we're doing is using words. We're not fighting them. We're not lynching them. We're not shooting them. We're not sicking dogs on them. We're not doing anything physical to them other than saying words, and they are in great consternation.
The lowly shall confound the wise.
Yep.
And
Yes,
we're just speaking words, and we could see how upsetting it is to their spirits. They really don't like the fact that we are standing up in great boldness. The demons pop out all the time. The time. We battle, just Brother Moriel and myself, a lot of us, we just try to come together and gather and share information. They have to come. Oh, you're not Israel. Oh, once again, they're still trying to tell us who we are, but when we tell them who they are, they're like, oh no, they just reject it. Everybody wants to be in our business. They want
right.
It's like leave us be. If you think that I'm in a delusion that I'm not a real Israelite, so be it. Let me enjoy myself. They don't want us to have a semblance of happiness, of glory, of joy. Like, so we can't even make believe. These people, they thrive. The other nations, their happiness derives off of our misery.
Hold on, bro. No, you're 100% right. So 1968 is back in the.
Oh yeah, or yeah.
1968 is saying he's saying that Abraham. He's saying Shem was never before Abraham. He's saying that Abraham came before Shem. So now let's just put that in context. If Abraham came before Shem, then that would mean Abraham was before Noah, who was pre-Diluvian or pre-flood. So come on, man. Like a 1968, if you're not going to deal in reality of truth, historical facts, why don't you just go to another spot? I mean, this ain't even a puzzle. I mean, for real. I mean, you're not even, but dude is telling people this lie that Shem came before Abraham. Okay. What lie? What lie is being told? See, okay. Well, this is a prime example. Prime example.
And accuse of the brethren. This is what we were talking about.
Prime example.
Dude, pardon me, Brother Moriel, but you know sometimes that New York come out in me, I'm real blunt. This is what we're talking about. These
Right.
demons right here. This
Mhm.
1968 demon.
Right.
We can't have a semblance of peace without us coming together.
Right.
I'm looking through the
Exactly.
chat. I see no scriptures. I see nothing but vain imaginations and opinions. That's
Right.
why I love when y'all come at us. I love when we cut y'all with the word. I
That's right.
get joy.
Great
I
joy.
get joy watching y'all scoff and humble down, and you can't even break down Genesis 1:1.
I mean, he doesn't even have a clue, bruh.
He doesn't. This is the consternation that we're talking about. They know so much. We can't even come to all these names in this chat right now. I'm not going to call them out. These are family members. This isn't something that's fly by night. We've been looking at these names for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Some of us aren't even here anymore because they passed on. And you want to come in here and be a disruption? Bruh,
Correct.
they vex my spirit. They really,
I
really
know. I
vex
know
my
they
spirit.
do. I know they do, and they're set up to do that. That's and then the madness. See, mental illness. We don't even know this brother or sister or whomever, but mental illness is afoot. Before Abraham, I am John 8 verse 58. What? So, and it's okay. I'm not even tripping because I know 1968 got issues. He's got trouble or she got trouble. This is what we're saying. Like the trouble is a mental illness. The mental illness is the trouble. Just like they brought upon us when we were going through when Jacob was going through his trouble. Time out. When Jake was Jake before Israel, when he was leaving to go see his mama's burial, and he had to meet up with Esau, Esau sent his spies to go in the back of of Jacob's caravan to bring trouble to Jacob. What is that? To bring mental discomfort to his brother. That's what this was all about, to bring mental discomfort, mental illness to his brother. Finally, Esau, but when all that was going down, Jacob was, prayed, went to the front, prayed, and then and this is in the Joshua, and then the angels came and set Esau straight, just like they doing now. Just like they doing now. Esau got scared straight and went to his brother. Esau was like, yo, Jake, let's squash this. But Esau's descendants didn't want to squash it. They were mad. So now they still mad. And that's Jacob's trouble. They wanted us to go through a mental discomfort the way that their forefathers went through. And so now, as we come out of a mental discomfort, come out of a blindness, come out of darkness, and we read all of our scriptures, not just the scriptures that were stolen and compiled and given to us from Esau, from the nations, from 83, from the heathen, not just those, all of them. We have a better grip on the reality of our spirituality, of what? Our salvation. So people like 68, they run around talking, probably got his pants down, doing whatever he's doing or she doing whatever. But they don't understand where we are because we are ahead of them. We are the head. We are moving so fast to the head, excuse me, so fast to the head that all they can do is come in and create trouble. And I should say, try to create trouble. That's why I love our nation. I love the fact that we are students of our own salvation, because that is such a massive step forward from where we were. I mean, think of it, in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, we were just wayward. But now that we have stepped our game up to be our own stewards of our own salvation, now everybody got problems. Now everybody upset. So who's the trouble for? Is the trouble for those that are seeking their own salvation, or the ones that want us not to seek our own salvation? They want us to think that Abraham was Adam. Abraham came before Adam. 1968. I mean, what? Come on, man. Back up, slow down. We are not in trouble. This is the trouble of the nations. Going back to the beginning, Jacob is the trouble for 83, right? That's what we're doing. We troubling 83 because our mental fitness is outweighing their mental illness. All praise to the Most High. My bad, brother. I didn't mean to go off on that tire.
No. It's all good. I'm just looking at the chat. I'm just paying attention to the chat, and I just want to read this comment from whoever this night, if you don't mind, because I know it's your platform. Okay, from this 1968 character. Now I'm going to read it verbatim. Millions of people are going to drop dead in pocket regions all around the world in 2025. Don't forget that I told you that at 1968. What does that have to do with us? Answer that question.
Oh, God.
Please answer. What does that have to do with us? That's a simple question. Since you know prophecy, answer that. What does that, your claim, I mean, and once again, you didn't give a source text. You didn't give any scripture. This is what we're talking about, saints. They come around us with these vain imaginations in these bogus opinions, and they can never prove it. Yeah, this person's a fool.
He's a fool. And see, I wanted to go back to this one comment because, you know, we're wasting our energy with these dummies who are trying to vampire our energy. But there was this one comment, and there's so many, I can't even find it right now. But Shalom, that person from Liberia, all right? And they made a comment, but it got past me. I can't find it. And again, you know, yes, we're not browbeating all of no, wait a minute, hold on. The Spirit's bringing. So the comment was he or she, I can't remember, was from Liberia, but he or she said, aren't the Hamites Northern Africa? Now, the Northern Africans are more the Edomites than the Hamites. And again, what people have to realize is we have been mixed. Everybody is mixed. And that was on purpose, because if we weren't mixed as the two kingdoms with all the other nations and gather and mix into their nations, these foolish nations, 83, would have killed us all. They would have tried to burn us, encircle us like they did in 70 AD. They would have tried to take all of us out. So the Father was like, no, I'm spreading you guys all out, all around. Whereas these foolish nations that I put over you won't be able to get rid of all of you. And that's the beauty of it. So when people want to say, well, only in North Africa or only in America or only in Africa, see, that's not the case. We are all of this is our land. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, I mean, because the wicked has been ruling so much, and the wicked are these people. Have they been good stewards? So no, they haven't been good stewards, as we know. So therefore, they're not rulers of the land. They're not treating the land properly. So when we get in power again, will the whole world be ours to rule? Absolutely. And where would it be ruling from? The kingdom to come. All of them are going to come, just like during Enoch's time, just like during Solomon's time. This is what they're trying to deter us from instituting, manifesting. See, because when the two kingdoms come together, that creates one kingdom. What is that? The kingdom to come. And why is that important? Because all the rulership will come from it. Why? Because Yahweh Shai will be sitting there and he'll be setting and preparing Yahweh's throne. So everything will come through the kingdom to come. The whole earth will be at peace. So people like 68, these other people, these Esau's, these Edomites, these Hamites, everybody, all these ites that want to act like we don't know what we're talking about. Well, all we're saying is we want a righteous world. That's all we're saying. Like at the end of the day, bottom line, we want a righteous world. We're tired, to Sister Pat's point, we're tired of paying to live on an earth that was given to us in the first place. We're tired of working like a donkey on land that was ours in the first place. We're tired of that. And for the nations, if you guys think that that's cool, that brings you joy, that's why you're going to be in trouble, because it's not going to bring you joy. You're hollow. The hollowness of the mental illness of the nation's system, under their system of Christian insanity, this is what is going to be the problem for them, the trouble for them. Camps alike, they want to run around in Christian insanity, so be it. That's the system. That came to me the other day. What is the system that we are fighting against? Christianity. Why? Because Christianity is the one that says Christianity is the basis of unjust weights. It has created a system to where you can be a hypocrite and gain. You can do all the things evil that you want, pay the church, and the church will give you land, money, children, women, men, unjust weights. So that's the system we fight against. That's the demon. That's the dragon, the Church of Mahan. That's system. And because we don't want no parts of it, the world is upset. Now the Pope wants to come out on Xmas Day or night or whatever the hell and open up a door. Okay, nigga, open your door. Dummy, you're going to open something that you're not going to have any opportunity or power or control over. And then what? You're going to have that look on your face. I'm not concerned, because those demons aren't, the demons are not coming for the righteous because they have no power over us. This is what they don't get. It's a damn shame the way these people think. The mental illness is strong. It's savage. It's savage with these people. But I digress, my bad. I went on a tirade again. My bad, brother.
You come in here late to class, but trying to question the professor. Yo, geez.
I mean, oh God.
I know, bro. I know.
And so this, I guess I'll say this, and we got to do this. I this is the first time, so I don't have any moderators.
Exactly. We don't have mods.
So let me see if I can do this. I can hide this brother. Oh, didn't even hide him. Oh, okay. Oh no.
Yeah, I think you can, since you created the channel.
Boom. User is banned. Yay. Banned, and the comments are deleted. He is gone. Gone. Yes. 1968. I just learned how to ban him, and their comments were removed. So we are no longer under his madness. But it was good to have him here for a minute so we can explain, so that our points could be made. It could be valid of just what we deal with. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, I mean, the next time we do this, we don't have to have that, and we can really get good communication amongst the brethren, and the sisters, So, I mean, this is just what we deal with, and that's why their trouble is coming on their heads.
All praises.
All praises, brother. All praises. Yes. A little peace. That dude is gone. All right, good.
But this is a prime example of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Those people that come in and they just want to be a distraction because they know when two or more of us are gathered, the Holy Spirit is here. So let's be I want to be a demon. I just want to interrupt that. I want to be a hindrance. I want to be a nuisance and rebuke them and get them out the way. We are about our Father's business. We're going into 2025. We don't have time to play games no more with these heathens. It's really time for us to stand in great boldness against 83, because even though they're getting bigger, we're getting stronger. And that's the difference. We are the 300, the
Yep.
remnant within the remnant.
Yep. That's right. That is all correct, brother. And it's a great thing. And that's that's why we are just coming to give energy, strength, knowledge and some wisdom to the people, to our nation. I mean, if not us, then who? Like why not? There's other, the other brethren, brother Levi, brother Judah, sister Pat, brother Maine, so many others. I mean, yeah, we're just doing our part, which is what we're supposed to do. And just imagine for a minute, if everybody went on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and start just talking amongst ourselves, holding counsel amongst ourselves on these social platforms. Imagine it would shut down the whole world. We shake up the world. What Muhammad Ali said, I shook up the world. It'd be a wrap. It would be a wrap for their peace. And is that not what we're trying to do? Because if they have peace, then they're not giving it to us. So for us to have peace, they have to not have peace. Exactly. And that's what we're seeing right now,
Exactly. And they're actually getting their Eurocentric worldview is getting destroyed by people who aren't even in the truth.
That's right.
How the Most High is using us. Because we was talking about this. A lot of us came through, we've awakened through the scriptures. But there are a lot of people out there who are doing the historical research, and they're going to do the research like, oh, Israel was here, and we were here, and we were scattered there. I might actually be an Israelite. Maybe them brothers on the corner, maybe they do know what they're talking about, or the videos I'm watching. So we have brothers right now and sisters who aren't even acknowledging that they're Israel, destroying these Gentiles on social media, bringing out information and destroying their history. So they have to deal with those who are awakened and those who aren't awakened. So they really have to stifle what's going on because they can't keep up. They really cannot keep up.
They can't. They can't. It's a situation where they're so busy. They're running to stand still, and we're standing still. That's what. Why don't you read Jacob? What is it? Jeremiah 30. Why don't you read that real quick?
Okay, let me get to it.
Because he wants us to be still. And still doesn't mean to just stand still and not do nothing. It means to be still when he's in the midst and watch him work. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is about. Like, and that's what we do. We sit back and we let the Father show us what he's doing. And they don't like that. The nations don't like that at all.
Exactly. Jeremiah 30. I'm here. Are we going to read all of Jeremiah 30?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Jeremiah 30. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh, God of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh. and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Most High spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. But thus saith the Most High, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, but they shall serve the Most High their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and in quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Most High, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Most High, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines, and thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give thee for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Most High, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith the Most High, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded up upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them shall make merry. And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me. And I will punish all that oppress them, and their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith the Most High? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Behold, the whirlwind of the Most High goeth forth with a fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Most High shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it.
All praises.
All praises. All praises.
So where in there, where in and that's why it had to be read, all of it. Because if people think for a minute that that's going to happen to Israel in the future, they are stupid. Literally, they're stupid. He clearly tells you who he says. He clearly says that the nations will go into captivity. He clearly said that you will be my people and I will be your. Like, come on. Like, how is no one reads? They only read that first part. You see, they only read that first part. And that's why the camps are so misguided, along with the churches, about the latter days. But you know what? We're not misguided on it. We stand on it because we understand Jacob's trouble. We've gone through it, and we will be his people. We are his people, and he is our God. So therefore, who else is out here to do? What can anybody do to us? That's why it's funny. They want to act like, we'll go into trouble and they're going to do something. Like all that stuff that was done to us, or that was stated in that was going to be done, or that was done. Has that not already been done? Like I don't know why they don't read.
Exactly. That's why the question I always put forth is, what else can they do to us that they haven't already done, that we should fear this infamous Jacob's trouble that everybody professes? And they never give a solid answer because they cannot.
Nope. And at the end of the day, brother and family, at the end of the day, where in Jeremiah 30 are we going into trouble? It seems to me that the nations are going into trouble based on what that said. Read the part again where the nation said, where he said that the nations
were going into captivity.
Yes.
Okay, that did catch my eye. That was to the Jacob's tents, the nobles. I'm just skimming through it real quick. Here it is, verse 16. Verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee I will give for a prey.
So let me somebody explain to me where we have preyed upon people, we put people in captivity. Like, that seems to me that that's speaking of a specific group of people, very specific, very poignant and pointful, of a people who put people in captivity, who have been an adversary. Exactly. I mean, we've never had any power to do any of that. So let's find out. So who are the people who have had power to do that? See, that's where this has all gone wrong. See, that's where the camps have was set up. I'll say it like this. That's where the camps was set up to only speak about that first part of Jacob's trouble. And then keep this last part away from, oh, well, we all going to Jacob. It's going to be a whole nation thing. But you know what? Now that I've reconciled, now that I reflect on all the times that I've heard these camps talk about, and anybody talk about Jacob's trouble, I've not once ever heard them read the whole thing. You know that?
Exactly. Not once. We still have to eat the whole roll.
Exactly. What is it? The camp's exegesis is just as bad as the churches. They'll take a couple things and run all day with it.
We've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it. We've all seen it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will wrap this up because we are a little bit over time. And you wanna take us out with something, brother?
Well, brother, what else can I say besides all praises to the Most High?
All praises.
Once again, it's good to come together in the spirit, and we could come together and just worship and praise, or we could share information. And we're family. I know a lot of us we never met. I know everybody has their factions where they get behind the scenes and they talk. But when I see us come together, I see these names, I see my family. Mm-hmm. So once again, I love to come together with y'all. I'm glad that Brother Moriel had me on his show. And Most High willing, we could do this again.
Yeah, indeed, brother. And this was our first go at it, and I am very thankful that that the family even came together, saw this, because I didn't even we didn't put out any type of message. This was kind of, and really quick, I guess I'll tell the story of how we got here tonight. Blog Talk wasn't acting right. And Brother Sly and I we had something to say. This is what we had to say. And the Father wanted us to say it. And we didn't really have another platform. We couldn't record it through the phones. And so I was like, what about StreamYard? And it took us a second or two to figure it out. And voila, here we are. Here we are, This has just been excellent. So, again, I appreciate everybody. And we are beaten down. Jacob is the trouble for 83. We are troubling these people like nobody's business, and keep it up because it's necessary. It's necessary to do so. All of us are one. This is the Ezekiel 37. We are the two sticks are now in the hand, and now we're coming together as the two witnesses together to witness against them. And as we do these things, and as we learn and research and get information, like Sister Lisa Cabrera is bringing forth, and Brother Judah and Brother Levi and Sister Pat, and all these all the information that we as a group are doing and bringing together, young and old, it's moving the mountain, and it's creating the temple and the kingdom to come. So with that, all praises to the Most High, our earthly mother, our heavenly mother, our big brother, Yahweh Shai. Thank you, Brother Sly and family. We'll do this again. All praises. Shalom.